What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 24. Dang, guys, it's 24 episodes. But yeah, episode 24 of Hobby Hotline. As always, the only live call-in show in the hobby. And joining me today, of course, myself, Drew, from Let Me Get That Potograph. We've got from the About the Cards podcast, Steph. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, not too bad. And then also joining us from Sports Card Nation, as well as his hot tub once in a while, quite a few different places, Mr. John Newman. What's going on, man?
Morning.
What's up? So what's going on, guys? It's been a crazy week in the hobby. I mean, there's 8 million places we could start
Crazy
to.
week.
I mean,
Crazy year.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Crazy years. Absolutely correct. But as always, guys, please call in and join the show. I'm going to be posting the link here in just a moment. But yeah, like I was saying, there's just so much going on in the hobby. John, I'm gonna let you kick it off. I could talk about 15 different things. There are absolutely no boring weeks anymore. But John, I'm gonna let you kick it off this week. What's something in the hobby that stuck out to you? Because there's countless things.
Well, Finest Flashback, the online exclusive product from Topps, is live. I think I got mine early because of my close proximity to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, where the product was shipped from. I got my 3 boxes that the Montgomery members were allotted, and anyone that follows me,
some Montgomery members. I tried, and it was sold out.
My apologies to those that didn't. I can go off on that tangent. I think everyone should have like a personal email sent saying, "Do you want your 3 boxes?" That sort of thing. But that's a whole show in itself. I got my 3 boxes. Anyone that knows me or follows me or listens to Sports Card Nation or Hobby Quick Hits sort of knows my take on wax. I don't open a lot of it. I'll buy it and resell it just because of the way the market is. But this product, being it's based on the 93 Finest release and modeled after that exactly. I mean, opening the packs, it was like being in the DeLorean with Dr. Emmett Brown and going back 27 years. And I have a fondness in my heart for it because in 1993, I owned my own card store. And 93 Finest baseball at the time was like the first high-end product. At 15 to 20 bucks a pack. I almost didn't buy it from Topps when they sent me all the ordering information because I wasn't sure the hobby was going to be receptive to this kind of price level. And we bought it and we did obviously super well. I had to scramble to get more. And it was really that first premium product. And when you look back at it now, there's really no rookies in it. Not like the rookie cards we're accustomed to in today's hobby. But just that chromium, those refractors, which were 2 a box in the original 93, 1 a box in the re-release here. But I love the product. It brought me back 26 years. I'm old to my 21-year-old card shop owning self. And I normally don't open product. I got the 3 boxes. I opened one of the boxes, and I got to be honest with you. I think I picked the best one out of the 3, even without opening the other two because it was insane what I pulled out of this thing. And pretty much almost every rookie, but except Bichette, a Lux Black Refractor to 25.
Nice.
And then there was a Bregman Gold Refractor to 50 in there, and you're only supposed to get one refractor of a box. So I don't know if another box. Sorry to the person who gets the box without. Just happened.
Sure.
But, I had every rookie, the two refractors, and very pleased with the box. I stopped right there and just said I ain't gonna probably top that. So quit while we're ahead.
Hey, Bean, I'm right there with you, my man. Ben, Ken, you make a great point. Who knows when you will actually get them? I'm still waiting. I'm sure after last week's episode of this show and my show, I'll probably never see my T206s or my Project 2020s. But John, I mean, I have the Aquino up right now. They're beautiful cards, like you said, and 93 finest. That's when I was, huge into collecting, was that era. And when that stuff started to come out, I mean, this is the type of product that really revolutionized. And if it wasn't for this stuff, the modern hobby would not be what it is. I mean, finest is still around today, albeit in vastly different iterations and everything, but I mean, Chrome, Prism, Optic, you name it. The cards that are driving the entire market, at least outside of National Treasure's $80 million RPAs. Like, I mean, these are the cards now that drive the hobby. And, we talked about it a little bit on last week's show. The online exclusives, I'm getting frustrated with how many they're doing and everything. And I really have a problem with them not being able to get them out to people. Like, if you're getting yours, like, I get it, you're right there. Yeah, it would make sense that you would get yours a lot sooner than most. But at that point, a lot of people need to be getting theirs right now. And they need to be getting them now. And a whole lot of people do. Otherwise they're right back where they were, where they just don't have that infrastructure set up. But I was pleasantly surprised after looking at what some of these are on the secondary market for $55 a box. I know it's not, people always want that guaranteed autograph and stuff, but in a product like this, you don't. I think this is a really cool product. And for the amount that they put out online, this is the type of one that I actually don't mind because it doesn't add to the regular finest rainbow like all the Prism releases seem to, add and make it an 85 card rainbow to complete the set. This is just a throwback set, a different set that you can collect if you want to. And so I see some of these commanding some pretty big value. What about you, Steph?
So, no, and you're right. There's only outside of the Super Refractor, there's 4 different parallel sets: black, gold, red, and the base Refractor. Great looking cards. I do have one critique. If you're going to put out a set, why have it at 199 cards, not 200?
Yeah.
But that's just the OCD in me.
Real quick, I just want to answer Being real fast. There's no frustration on this end. When I say frustration, I'm talking about the fact that they're not. The frustration comes from their distribution of the product. Like, they're not getting it out to people. There are people that haven't gotten their T206 Series 1 while people are getting Series 2, things like that. I think that stuff should be fixed before you go all out full online distribution. That's where I was pointing to with frustration, not, with them putting out product. But anyway, continue, Stephan. Just wanted to answer that question while it was there.
I looked up 93 finest because you guys said the rookies really aren't there. And according to Trading Card TV, there's only 2. JT Snow, which might have been a bigger name in 1993, maybe even 2000, but not so much anymore. And Mike Lansing of the
Interesting. It says 1993 finest was supposed to be only 198 cards. They added 99 because of the pizza man himself. Interesting.
Maybe that's a throwback because 1993 also has 199, but come on, guys. One short print.
There you go.
Or throw a no-numbered Vladdy in there. for
Sure.
A bat down. I mean, I'm sure they can figure
throw a
something
no number
out
Robert.
here.
Ratty's old and washed up. Throw a no number Robert in there.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'm sure out of all of them, they, they'd figure out a way. Trust me, they would definitely figure out a way. But
now, for those who haven't got their boxes yet, I'll say this: the cards look pretty clean. The centering, at least on the box I opened, is nice. So the as far as QC goes, and if you get a box like I did, you're in really good shape. I don't know if that's going to be the norm, but very pleased, as someone who doesn't open a ton of wax anymore. The one box I did open, I picked the right one out of the three I got. So,
what's up, Uncle Rich? Hey, thanks for waking him up and making sure he did make the show. But anyway, guys, once again, as always, please don't hesitate to call in and join the show. The link, once again, if you got a question or comment on this or anything else going on in the hobby, just call in and let us know. But guys, there was something I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about, because it came out just a couple of days. It came out what?
I said you had a question.
Oh, okay. No, all right, never mind.
No, what's up?
No, but so it came out a couple of days ago that Panini re-upped their license with whatever that company is now. I can't remember their name. That handles all the college licensing
group or something like that.
Yeah. So they're gonna have college athletics. Period. All sports, everything. They've got the rights to all the college. And I want to know from you guys out there too, what you think about this. Do you like these exclusives? I know a lot of people don't, but there's a lot that I like about them, and I kind of like, college, especially having one. I think personally, if you expand into, multiple different companies having licenses, it really get close to entering the junk era when each company puts out 30 products. Then I think there's a major problem. There'd have to be some major, measurement on here. But I mentioned college licensing, and then as soon as I say that, someone pops in, someone very familiar to the show. It is Uncle Rich Klein. What's up, Rich?
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going, bud?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Well, one of the things with college licensing, as was explained to me by a couple people at Panini, is that, like, for example, when they signed Charles Barkley to to an autograph deal, they couldn't put him in an NBA uniform for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But they could put him into the college licensing from Auburn. So it enabled collectors to get legitimate Barkley autographs on a card. So there is a positive towards the college licensing. And I've written about this and I've talked about this. As for exclusives, we don't like it as collectors.
Right.
But the leagues love it. I have a very good friend of mine. He had a photo license with the NFL in like 1997, 98. He was one of 300 licensees. And about the year 2000, he no longer had his license, and they basically told him, "We love you. We're just cutting down our licensees from 300 to 30." It's a lot easier. It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot easier to deal with 30 rather than 300.
Yeah. Wow, Ken, that's crazy. 3 Barkley redemptions. He's been signing pretty fast too. Those should be out to you, but yeah,
so that's the college licensing company.
Yes, I know it's weird. I'm not sure, but John, so what do you think about all this? The college licensing in particular.
Well, the college cards obviously don't bother me, but I'm old school. I'm the old man on the porch. I wear it like a badge of honor. I want to see more companies. I want to see Topps do football again. I know you do too, and I know that the big risk there is now you have not 60 products instead of 30. Well, what I'd like to see, if that does ever occur, which I'll be honest with you, I don't know if we're going to see that ever again, but I hope so. But if we do, what I think you need to see is part of that licensing agreement being where Topps, you can do 15 baseball product or football products, and Panini, you can do 15 football products, and that sort of thing. And that way we don't get that return, if you will, to the junk wax era. Or if you're going to make 30 products, limit production, which who knows who monitors that. So I think it would lead to better products because you're not the only game in town. You're the only pizza place in town, and your pizza sucks. Still wants pizza, right? They're gonna say, all right, it's still pizza. It's cardboard with some sauce and some cheese, and it sort of tastes like pizza. I'm gonna buy one and eat it, right? But if we have more than one choice, it starts to put the onus back on the companies to produce superior products. Not that some of these aren't now, but even more so, they're on the hot seat to do it.
Yeah,
sure.
One of the differences between today and we'll call it the overproduced era was that in those days the card companies were not issuing 20 sets each. They were doing 3, 4, 5 sets at a time and just producing them till the cows came home, which is why if you look in my office, I have so many cards nowadays. But one of the things in dipping into hobby history is when MLB basically after the 2005 year awarded only Topps and Upper Deck baseball licenses and they shut out Panini, was to try to reduce the number of licensees at the time. And also of the 3 companies, Panini at the time was the weakest in getting into the big box retail stores. Panini had actually, I believe it was Panini from what I understand, had a plan where each 3 companies would keep their baseball license and each one could do a product a month or maybe 1.25 a month, maybe 15, as John said, maybe 15 in a year, because in 2004 we had 95 sets or something like that, 95 products, just some number that was off the charts. There was probably as many cards produced in 2004 to some extent as in 1984. It's just that all of a sudden you have 95 sets and not 5 sets. That's a huge difference. So there are pros and cons to getting things under control. We as collectors want competition. The licensors want to have an easier life.
Yep.
Nobody's wrong and nobody's, what's the old from the song? Nobody's wrong and nobody's right.
Yeah. Well, when I had the MLBPA director on the show, that's exactly what he said when I asked him about exclusives. They said that as far as they're concerned, they're happy. Like when I talk to Major League Baseball now, if I talk to the Players Association, I'm sure they'd have a very different answer. You know what I mean? But talking to Major League Baseball themselves, they simply stated, we love having one company to deal with. We like the agreement. It's simple for us. We have it in place. It's less work. We know what we're doing, and that's it.
And understand, as you said, the Players Association would definitely love 2 licenses.
Exactly.
Did you see the numbers that came out from the MLBPA filing this week?
No.
Okay.
I got it pulled up here.
Topps paid MLBPA $18 million and change. Panini paid the MLBPA almost $3 million and just a little under $3 million.
Wow.
Well, the MLBPA in like 1994, one of the ways they paid the players to subsist during the strike when they weren't getting any money was through all the money they had hoarded through the agreements with the card companies at the time. So darn right, the MLBPA wants $18 million from 2 companies. If they could do that, then there could be and I'm not saying they're angling to have a strike, but it gives them quite a firewall.
Oh yeah.
To have, hey, we can keep you in a reasonably healthy financial situation for a long time. With this money, we've got stocked away. So there's a benefit to the MLBPA to have to licenses more than there is to MLB properties. As you'd say,
Yeah.
Evan is very happy with what it is. Evan Kaplan.
Right.
Yes, that's who I had on the show, Evan.
Yeah, he's very happy. We met with at the
Million Card Rip Party.
right. We met with his assistant at the Topps wax rip party. It wasn't Evan. We thought it was Evan. It was actually his assistant. I think Stephan, you did an interview with him. I think.
Zvi?
Yeah, I think he's pretty cool. And,
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy.
And so, but that's, this is something I don't want to say I'm passionate about, but I've been following for 30 some odd years now. This is, this is like old blood to me. This is an interesting topic for the hobby because it's one of the reasons you see all the online products. $18 million for Topps to pay the MLBPA is a lot of money. We don't even know what they're paying MLB properties.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, and you better be producing a lot of cards to pay that money.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay for autographs and relics and the printing presses. I mean, based on that, Topps has to be spending 30, 40 million a year just to get out baseball product before they have a penny coming in. That's a huge nut to crack, so to speak.
Yeah. It definitely is. Well, if no one else has anything on the subjects, we do have a question in the forums from Ziggy No, and he's asking. He wants to know about soccer because obviously soccer right now, for those that don't know, I talked about it on this week's Let Me Get That Potograph, but it's exploding right now. It is absolutely on fire. They're playing, which helps, but he wants to know who the soccer expert is. So do we have any soccer fans, at least on this panel? Do we have any major soccer fans?
No, whoever put in Chris Harris's name is correct.
All I know is the ball's round and they kick it. You want to get it into the goal. And I know one of the better players is named after a Hanson song.
Yep.
You know that?
Yep.
So
yep.
That's like hockey, but in the summer, right?
Yes. That's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
No, my knowledge goes about to the extent of my son plays it and he seems to enjoy it. There's a round ball and I click on eBay sales and type in soccer, prism, filter, and then I figure out who's good. But beyond that, I know soccer is absolutely exploding, and I know it's a market that I need to be learning a lot more of. I will say, and a lot of us do, because that's going to be, at least if you're in this, in this hobby industry, whatever it is to you, business, whatever. If you're going to be wanting to make money, soccer is one of those products that is sneaky good right now, and I mean it's incredible how big it's blowing up. But we do have a caller. He's no stranger to the show, Mr. Stale Gum. Not in Vegas again. What's going on, man?
You had a question about soccer?
Yeah. It's this. They kick this ball. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the number one sport in the world. You know that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's the sport of the future in America. And
it is.
And it has been since 1972.
That's why But I do think the market's on the rise. But anyway, man, what's going on? What can we do for you here today, bud?
I don't know. You guys had a soccer question?
Chris,
two basic questions. Somebody wanted to know what's going on with soccer as far as licenses between Topps and Panini, and then maybe just explain why soccer is exploding. I think
okay, so when it comes to licenses,
there's a game playing.
Okay, for most of the national teams, Panini has that license. I think Topps has the English national team license.
Yeah.
Yes.
UEFA, sure.
Yeah, and they have the FIFA license for the World Cup.
Yes.
When it comes to club level, Panini. Topps used to have the Premier League license, which is the English league, which is the number one league in the world. But I think this past year, Panini took that over. And they basically traded licenses with the Bundesliga, which is the German league, which is really the second best league in the world. That used to be Topps' license, or excuse me, that used to be Panini's license, but now Topps has it. That's why you're seeing Topps make a lot of German soccer cards. I mean, you're probably wondering why that is. As far as the German league goes, that's really becoming almost the league of choice now for a lot of young American soccer players. I think if you know nothing about soccer, you probably have heard the name Christian Pulisic, right?
Yes.
He's a young 21-year-old American.
Yeah.
You got to start with Borussia Dortmund, which is one of the bigger clubs in Germany. And during the offseason, now he's playing in England with Chelsea. But there's also at least 5 or 6 other young players, young American players, guys like Zach Stephan, who's the starting goalkeeper for the United States. He played this past season in Dusseldorf. You have Tyler Adams of Red Bull Leipzig, Weston McKennie of Schalke, although he's probably going to be moving during the summer to another club. I can go on, but there's at least when World Cup qualifying starts again, you're probably going to see about half the players for the U.S. team coming from Major League Soccer and half coming from the Bundesliga. And I'm not even mentioning a Canadian player. And yes, Canada has finally produced a world-class soccer player.
No?
Yeah, hockey player. Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up. Who is it now?
Right.
Who is it?
Wait. I'm having a brain fart now.
That's okay.
He used to play in MLS.
It's Jeff. His name is Jeff Gretzky.
Yeah.
There you go.
By the way, I do want to stress that, like, for example, if you go to ESPN and you really want to get a quick study, ESPN, because of all the soccer coverage they're doing, every day on their webpage, you could probably read a soccer article and just get a quick understanding of some of the better names that way to go with Messi and Ronaldo and people like that. And I would do that if you're really interested in studying. It's not like going to be super complicated. No. It's really not super hard. If I don't do that personally, but if you want to do it, more power to you.
Yeah.
And as Chris says, these are the leagues. Follow the leagues, and then when World Cup comes, you'll have something for. So I think he's pretty much got it dead on.
No, absolutely. And Chris, thanks so much.
Alfonso Davies is that Canadian player who plays for. He's 19 years old. He's from Canada, and he's probably the best left back in the world. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your expertise on that. I'll probably be wanting to have you on the show here soon to talk some soccer. But we got quite a few callers here in the queue. So, Chris, thanks so much for calling in, bud. Have a good one, man. And as I said, we got a couple people in the queue, so we're going to go on and bring our next caller in. You guys know him as well, Texas Card Dude. Wake up. Wake up.
Hey, I got tired of hearing that soccer talk, so.
And thank you for our promo.
I heard Red Bull mentioned, and that's all I was thinking about.
Oh, my God.
Stephan's drinking it. I'm thinking it.
Did you hear some Red Bull executives this week?
So let me ask the obvious question here. What stores are you hitting so I know which ones to avoid?
Stephan has to come up here, so he and Angela are coming up here because I have a computer issue. So they know how to work where you're going. So on their way back, they know not to go to the stores you're at.
Did you start with the power button? Always start with the power button.
I'm going over to Al's old place, so I'll be going over there this afternoon.
So what's up, bud? What can we do for you, man?
So I just wanted to say good morning and say howdy, and just wanted to thank John for his time this week. Wanted to say hello to everybody. Just, man, I got a bag of nothing. I just wanted to have a good laugh at Chris's expense.
Let's talk some more soccer.
This guy.
Now, real quick though, with the soccer stuff blowing up, let's be real though.
Yeah.
2020 in the hobby, what really isn't blowing up? From Project 2020 to
watch
Garbage
when
Pail Kids.
WNBA cards are actually selling okay for the
Have
price.
you
of the
seen
box.
some of the WNBA players? Good grief, they're kind of hot. I mean, I'd some of the.
Watch what you say.
Yeah, this doesn't.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah.
Hashtag me too. But I mean, everything in the hobby right now is it's like the Midas touch. It just turned into gold.
Yeah.
So not, it's surprising. Yeah, I'm surprised this hobby year. It's insane. But the soccer stuff doesn't surprise me because it's probably easier to mention products that didn't fare well, because I really can't think of one off the top of my head realistically.
Well, I will say when I did the podcast with Mike Sommer that some of you probably listened to yesterday, the price of Heritage is unchanged since the day.
I really like Heritage.
That's what I can. I mean, it's at a higher level than than its let's call it MRSP, but it has not changed in price since the day it came out.
Well,
that's sort of a
weird,
niche. That's sort of a niche product. If there is such a thing as a niche product, that's one I like. I don't open a lot of wax anymore, but even when I was opening wax in my bad days, that was a product I didn't open a lot of myself then. So it's one of those kind of niche products. I'd like to see Topps. Speaking of that, not to go off on a segue.
Sure,
think about Topps and the Heritage every year and the Archives every year, and then we seen what they just did with the 1993 Finest Flashback. I'd like to see them do more of that. Something that's not every year, but every so often they release an exclusive throwback product. I know this might be sacrilegious to some. I don't like Heritage that much, so I don't need it every year. Someone else
bring back the 1990s Topps. Yeah, we'll bring back the 1990s Topps set chromium it up if you want to. But could you imagine? You can imagine those Nolan Ryan Flash cards, or even I know that the No Name has been overdone with the Frank Thomas, but imagine a chrome Frank Thomas card. I mean, some of that stuff would be really, really cool. The 1990s psychedelic look would look really cool if they redid that with modern technology. So
absolutely.
All right, I'll let everyone else can get in. I appreciate you, Rich, Steph. Y'all have fun. Welcome.
Have a good one, bud. Take it easy. All right, and guys, we do have yet another caller on the line. He's been on hold for quite a while, so we're going to bring him in here. Philly Puck fan, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, guys. Soccer thing isn't surprising. I'm never going to bother learning it because it's soccer, and I'd rather watch grass grow. But there are 3 or 4 billion people who think otherwise, and good for them. You don't have to collect everything. As far as their question seemed to be circling around, and I missed the first half of the show, so if it was covered, sorry. But why is 2020 products just going crazy? Why is baseball going crazy in 2020? This reminds me a lot of, I'm pretty big in the Magic the Gathering hobby, and this reminds me a lot of the 2017, 2016, 17, 18 reserved card buyouts. So make a long story short, there are some cards Wizards of the Coast will never print again, and people have figured out about how many are out there, and then estimated about half that were printed still exist. At the same time, when folks with Bitcoin were getting a ton of money because Bitcoin went nuts, they were pouring it into Magic the Gathering. So what I see happening in 2020 is, instead of Bitcoin folks, we have people with $1,200 cash they got from the federal government who didn't lose their job. Right. And we also have nothing else to do really right now. Like, I don't know about the rest of your areas, but you can finally sit down in a restaurant now, and you've got everyone's wearing masks in stores, which is fine. Wear the stupid mask. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. But if it keeps someone else from getting sick or flipping out, what does it hurt me? But what I think is happening is a lot of money is pouring in from those checks and the sneakerheads. and I look at the price of Topps Series 2 2020. Blowout has it at $220. Oh, but they have it discounted to $158.95, which is about a jumbo box, which is about $100 too high for that steaming pile of a product. And at some point, and I'm waiting for it because I'd like the hobby to come back to normal. Some of these folks with big dollars are going to take a bloodbath and go away. The question is when.
Well, first off, thanks for joining the show, and excellent question. Please feel free to call in whenever you'd like. Guys, I guess I'll start now. I know everybody's got an opinion on this. I mean, myself personally, I agree with you. I think a lot of money that has been spent in the hobby lately has come from those government checks. Maybe it be other collectible areas such as the sneakerheads, wherever it may be, the art community now with Project 2020. I completely agree. I think all of that has something to do with it, but I don't know. I see it sustaining a lot longer than people think, and I don't think you're going to see the severe drop off that a lot of people think. I think that there will be a gradual, drop back down to its norm. But I mean, we all thought. I think, for example, of like the Jordan documentary. Everyone thought when it was over, everything was going to tank. It didn't tank. It leveled off. It dropped a little bit, but I mean, you're still well over 150% gain of where you were at. I think there's a lot of people in this industry coming into it also from the investment side of things that have a lot of money invested in this that are going to help, especially in an unregulated industry, that are going to keep a lot of things from completely bottoming out. So I think we've almost got some, whether it be legal or illegal, safeguards put in to kind of help prevent that. When that would happen, I'm not sure of. Maybe any of my colleagues could elaborate on that. But that's my view on it, at least. But excellent question, bud.
Yeah, going off what he said, he's right on some things, in my opinion, and I'll disagree with him on one of his takes, which is really just an opinion, and we're all entitled to it. I think I've said this on my show, those stimulus checks when you're working is extra money. I have a hot tub in my backyard to base that.
No, I used mine off of it too. Yeah. I agree that.
No doubt other people are putting it into the card hobby. And so, that's a huge thing. I think another point he made is dead on. There's a lot of people have downtime. So if they're hobbyists, right, if you're not reporting to work, you have 40 hours of eBay screen time instead of 10. So you're going to probably purchase more stuff. And everything's exploding. It's been a big rush to get things. Shelves are being cleared off at Walmart and Target, putting money. And when we talk about new hobbyists, money. When's the last time the United States currency changed? There is no new money. They're talking about printing some new money with some new counterfeit techniques. So there's no new money. There's new hobbyists. I like them.
Yeah, same here.
I'm a big seller. I love them.
Yeah, they're
Please
great.
Come in.
Yes.
Come in
more.
And don't leave. I don't want you to leave, unlike Philly Buck fan. He wants you to leave. But that's his opinion. He's entitled to it, just like I'm entitled to mine. So the new hobbyists that are coming in, I think the sneakerhead stuff's a little overblown.
Me too.
Sure.
Me too.
I like Nike. I like some cool Nikes too. I got a pair of some Nike tops. Does that make me a sneakerhead? My son used to be a huge sneakerhead. He does a little bit with cards. I think that's a little overblown. I think, Drew, you hit it on the head. I think a lot of the investors, people looking to buy something on Monday and sell it on Tuesday and double, triple, or more their money. And let's be real. You may not like that. That may rub you the wrong way, but let's be real. Who wouldn't want to make some money on their money? You're going to walk by a $20 bill on the ground and say it's not mine and not pick it up. I mean, we got to be realistic here. Like it's like I tell my class in my real job. Everyone in this room should want to make as much money as they can, or you're in the wrong line of work. It's not all about money, but it's important. And so, I know people don't like investors, if that's what you want to call them, and it has a negative connotation, but they're just another form of hobbyists. You got your collectors and set collectors and super player collectors. And if you want to put investors in their own category, then I'm fine by it. And frankly, they don't bother me.
And Ken, real quick, Ken is dead on. A lot of these people, we've got a lot of hype and everything going on. These athletes aren't playing. They haven't had a chance to prove anybody wrong yet. So all you're getting is a lot more, an explosion on their market because they haven't had a chance to have a 10-game hit streak or whatever, which when they do, watch what happens. But
and also the person who made the point about extra time.
Yes.
There's a lady, and she was traveling an hour each way. She's 2 houses down from me, and she was traveling an hour each way to and from work. When this started hitting, she started working at home. Well, it's 10 extra hours that she's not on the road. It's also 10 extra hours of less stress on her body. Mm-hmm. And no, she's not a collector, so I don't want to go there. But I am pointing out that, you have 10 extra hours that you're going to be at home. And as pointed out, you've got more screen time than if you want to go on eBay or go on ComC or go on Sports Lots or go on
Star Stack.
Right. Yeah. Go wherever you want to go. Go wherever you want to go and send, if you want to send the cards to the grading companies, again, you've got more time to do things like that.
Here's the other thing, too. For those working at home, let's be real. I'm going to call a spade guy. If you're working from home, do you think folks working from home, and I'm sorry if this hits a nerve, are working 8 hours like they would be at the office? They're probably not working 8 hours.
I guarantee you I'm working 8 hours.
I'm going to a building and looking at eBay or Stars and on breaks. And so if you're working at home, I'm in this studio office. I'm not working from home, but if I was, I'm probably not putting 8 hours of work in. And I'm sorry if you hear that.
Right. So a couple things. One, first off, y'all keep dropping the I word, and you're gonna have the bat signal up for Ben.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping it wakes him up. I'm hoping it wakes him up.
Not that that's a bad thing on the West Coast, but no, I mean it's interesting, and someone had a great point that we all have this extra time, and if we're not working, or more so, if you're not commuting to work, which kind of literally stole the rug out from underneath me, that you're going to have more time available. I mean, me and Angela don't have to drive 45 minutes each way on a great day in traffic in Dallas. That doesn't happen. That's, now you have more time to organize, more time to sort cards. And yes, of course, we work a full 8 hours each and every day. Answering all of your emails and all of your comments. We never distract and never go to this or that. Like the fact that today, by the way, is the 99th anniversary of Babe Ruth hitting his 139th home run, breaking Roger Connor's time lead until 1975.
Nice. Well, Philly Puck fan, I hope that answered the question, man. When do you think follow up after hearing?
Sure. Well, I'm not trying to chase hobbyists away. I can see how that sounds abrasive, come off as abrasive. What I am fearful of is what happened with the reserve list buyouts in Magic, where folks got crushed and they screwed a lot of things up with it, and it still hasn't recovered. And it just seems like, especially, I look at the basketball market from outside, like a lot of people, and that doesn't make any sense to me either. And I'm not even going to try. Sure. I'm not sure. Sports are about to get started. I'm working on my 7 for month 7 article I write every year for hockey prospects, but instead of looking at 2020-21 season, I'm looking at playoffs. It's like, okay, hockey playoffs in July. So I don't know what happens when the puck drops.
And except for Cale McCarr's rookie of the year this year, right? Come on. Yes.
I don't care.
Yes.
So two minor things for that.
We were the hottest team in the NHL before the COVID lockout, and that is so Philadelphia sports.
Yeah, it is.
So two things for you before you bounce. One, how do you think the Russians coming over, and the college guys getting signed? Do you think that hoses them as far as not being able to play for this playoff round? And two, how's that look for next season, Series 1, Series 2?
Yes.
Well, okay. So the college guys getting signed probably weren't going to have meaningful minutes in the playoffs anyway. They've all been off the ice for 3 months.
Yeah, way too long.
Sure.
Yeah, it's going to probably look really sloppy at the beginning. It's going to look like you and I were out there, Steph. Maybe not quite that bad, but that's what it'll look like for a while. So I don't think that those players were going to get there isn't going to be a Steve Shutt moment or anything like that. That wasn't likely anyhow. As far as next year's rookie class, I don't know what they're going to do. Upper Deck is pretty good about holding a few rookies back for the following year, like Bowman does with their prospects. And I don't know what they're going to do. I can't see them relaxing the rules because they've done so well for us. So I don't know what they do. I guess they could do what Panini did and print this year's cards into the next year, like they did with the year. What's his name was? Who is that guy? It's on LA. Lonzo Ball. They were printing that product the following year. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how you get 100 young guns out of this year.
No, I just can't wait for Kaprizov's young gun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw an interview with one of my old Beckett teammates, Grant Sandground, on a different podcast Wednesday night, and he's a muckety-muck up at Upper Deck now, and they asked him that question, and he says, they are continuing to work with, the NHL and the NHLPA to make sure everything gets done. Things may have to be pushed back, but they will have young guns. They will have all their normal things. There just may be products pushed back in time because of all this. But there will, next year's products won't come out as early as they previously had for the simple reason you don't have this. You have to have more lead time, but you'll have things.
Well, I'm sure they'll get it out with young guns. I just wonder what that's going to look like. Is it going to be a guy who get their young gun and he's driving the milk truck in Ontario by now? I don't know. This is unprecedented, and I really don't know what the content of that will be. Upper Deck's done really well by us for a long time now, so I'll be the guy I'll be the guy bringing his kids down to the shop, his daughters down to the shop to get their box of Series 1 and Series 2, like we do every year, breaking them out of school because Upper Deck released.
Awesome. Well, Philly Pucks fan, thanks so much for calling in, man, and please feel free to call in anytime, bud. Excellent question. Would love to have you call back again. But thanks for joining, bud.
Thanks.
And guys, we do have another caller on the line. So while Uncle Rich is busy for just a moment, we're going to bring him in, Mr. Kevin Jones. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Doing good. What's going on?
Got a beard going. So, I just wanted to make a real quick observation. It just kind of came to me with the last topic that we were talking about, all the money coming in and the hobby. And, it's just we're on a tear right now. And I think it's because, there hasn't been like a bad rookie class or a bad product in a few years. So we're on an amazing hot streak. And I feel like Series 2 Topps could be the first bell of what's coming. Because, 2018, you had Soto, Acuna, Luka. 2019, the huge rookie class for baseball, the huge rookie class for basketball. You've had Mahomes and Jackson. Basically, this next generation of iconic athletes is being established, I feel like. And I don't know if we're on the tail end of that or not.
Well,
I mean, I think one of the reasons is that everything has been can't miss for the last probably 18 months.
And I'll agree with that 100%. But I also think a lot of it also has to do with what Ken said in the comments earlier. A lot of this is all speculation because they're not playing. Normally they'd be playing. There'd be one or two guys from either this year or the year before that are playing 10 times better than we expected. That the hype would be all over, but instead it's massive speculation, and people are speculating on, a lot more than those one or two people that would actually normally be proving it by now.
Well, but I also do feel like, though, that it's been the generational shift in athletes.
1,000%. 1,000%. The last couple of years in every sport, the drafts have absolutely been top notch, changing of the guard. Yeah, bringing in the ultimate superstars.
So it's just, I feel like it's great. I mean, I'm loving it, but I was a longtime collector, returner. Also, I feel like people do eventually move on. I mean, I don't know about everybody in this stream, but people kind of come in and out of the hobby, and it's been a hot streak right now, and it just takes a couple of bad years of prospects across sports, and I'm in it for the long haul. I'm absolutely loving it, but and I love all these shows and everything, and I think this content, all the content that's being created, also helps to keep and drive interest. But you can't deny we've been on a huge hot streak since 2018 with
big time
athletes coming out.
Well, Kevin, I will say that I wouldn't be with especially how baseball is doing right now with the summer camp, and then how they're going to have players come in and out this year. I suspect when you get to Topps update, providing we still get the season done, there's going to be some guys that show up for a couple games that are then eligible for cards that may not do anything this year, and 2 or 3 years or a year from now may very well become stars because of the truncated season and how they've been called up. Some we know about, like Luis Robert, or however his name is pronounced.
Robert.
It's yogurt with an R. It's Robert.
Okay, Luis R. And, you may get Wander Franco. He was on the 60-man group this year. There may be people we don't know of in the 60-man group that will pop up and play this year. So there's a chance that the update set will be loaded and that we won't even know how good or bad it is for 4 or 5 years. We may say it's bad this year, and then all of a sudden 4 years later, a Mike Trout type talent, doubtful because he's generational. But if you have anybody with that type of talent that was undervalued as a prospect, all of a sudden, in the year 2025, when he's hitting 60 homers in a normal year, it's like, whoa, wait a second, or he's, fanning 350 batters. And then you find out it's rookie cards in 2020 update because he had a cameo. So we don't, this could be one of the funkier years where we don't know, which is what I said the very first week of the pandemic, but we don't know what we don't know. We don't know if this is going to be a more static standard rookie class, or if there are going to be people in all the sports that just take off, depending on how seasons are played in all 4 major sports. We're seeing in soccer, and I know that Chris talked about that, but you could very well see a different world in soccer too.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we could be looking back. There could be a diamond in the rough in Series 2 that everybody's overlooking, and then 3 years now, everybody's scrambling to get those jumbo boxes. And 150.
2011 when it came out, 2011 baseball when it came out was not like, I mean, it was obviously there was some hype behind it, but it wasn't, like no one expected that many people out of 2011. But John, before we wrap up and everything, man.
Just to piggyback off what Kevin said, I mean, he's right. The rookie classes the last 2-3 years in all the 4 major sports have been stellar, at least like Rich said, at least on paper so far.
Yes.
Time's going to draw all that out. But I know people here in the Syracuse area that got into basketball just because they saw what Luka cards were doing. So, that's a huge factor to why there's a lot of new hobbyists jumping in the pool. And I mean, it's a good thing, but like the saying goes, that the music usually stops at some point and then picks back up. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out post pandemic, post stimulus checks, and all those things.
John, to rabbit trail for a second, do people collect the people who played for the Syracuse college team, like Carmelo Anthony, where you are?
Yeah. Oh yeah, huge.
Okay.
Huge.
So
It's not just
you have some regionality there, where if somebody wants to get guys from the 80s, the Ronnie Cycli, but whoever played, there were a bunch of good players.
Yeah, he was Syracuse.
He was Ronnie Cycli. Could you imagine actually having a place where you could sell Ronnie Cycli cards?
One at a time. I know, that'd be crazy.
Well, I'll exit here quick, but the one thing that I heard once, Eric at those back pages said something funny. Once upon a time, 2013 Prism basketball was once considered overproduced garbage, and that's got the rookie in it. So
trust me, man. When I got back into the hobby, it was right around that time, and I was immediately drawn to the Chrome stuff because when I left the hobby was right when Finest was hitting its mark. So I wanted to see what all this stuff had become. People laughed and laughed and laughed at me when I would buy Prism. They thought I was an idiot, they were like, that's just low-end retail garbage, and look at it now. But thanks so much.
Hey, good to see everybody. It's been a while since I've called in.
$10 each.
Absolutely, Kevin.
Think about that.
Have a great weekend, Kevin.
Yeah, have a great weekend, Kevin. Have a good one, bud.
So, something to hold over for Monday, and it's
Sure.
just made official. NFL clubs just received this email with reporting dates. Training camp is on. Rookies report July 21st. Quarterbacks, injured players, July 23rd. All other players on my mom's birthday, July 28th.
Beautiful. Well, we will be talking about that and a whole lot more on this week's episode of Monday Night Heat. Yeah, the real football. Sorry. But as always, myself, Mr. John Newman, who put out an awesome new episode this Friday. Make sure to check out Sports Card Nation, and I'm sure he'll be putting some random stuff out about the cards every single Wednesday. As always, they'll be out on Wednesday, and I've got the first episode of Heart of the Hobby will be dropping on Monday, and so hopefully Sunday or Monday, Heart of the Hobby and new episode. Let me get that potograph here in the next couple of days. And Uncle Rich, bud, as always, it is a pleasure, my friend.
Thanks for having me. And your T-shirt you're wearing just hired one of my old Beckett teammates. He had lost his job working for a team. He was living in the area, and 2 weeks later, he got a job doing work for SGC.
There you go.
And so that's a case of somebody looking out and saying, I want to stay in the hobby. I want to stay in sports. And he was in the right place. And
that's a beautiful thing.
Time. And I'm going to say this is probably the best time in 30 years. If you want a job in the hobby, I bet you PSA advertised that they are looking to fill 100 positions.
Yep. Hey, even starting your own business. I started my own business this year, and it's been phenomenal.
Best time ever.
Our work is hiring.
Work in the hobby. This is probably the best time ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, as always, it is a pleasure. Plenty to talk about on Monday, it looks like, as we got that right at the very end. But until Monday, guys, take it easy. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And remember, wear that mask, if not for you, but for everybody else.
Perfect.